businessman that took a lot of flights across the country, wasn't afraid of flying, enjoyed it. He recounts in a business meeting, motivational speaking engagement that he was performing, of a flight that he had taken across country that was pretty scary. They boarded the plane, no trouble to be seen, and as they were well underway, the captain come across the loudspeaker and said, "I'm sorry, folks, we're about to hit some turbulence, pretty bad storm up ahead. We'll make it through it, but we're going to suspend drink service on this flight, so our apologies. Go ahead and fasten your seatbelts and get ready for a little bumpy ride." Well, as they approached that old thunderstorm, things got pretty rocky. If y'all have flown before, the turbulence was taking them up and crashing them down, and pilot came on again. He said, "We're going to have to skip the meal cart on this one. Everybody needs to stay buckled in for the duration of the flight. We're about to hit some pretty bad stuff." Well, as the storm overtook the plane and the lightning crashed around them and was well above the roar of the engines, everybody was noticeably scared. People were anxious and crying, and some folks were praying. This businessman was pretty worried himself, but he looked over and he noticed a little girl sitting there reading a book quietly, unaffected by the storm around her, had her legs crossed underneath her, and just pretty as you please in her little world there. Said she'd close her eyes every now and then open them back up and continue reading, unaffected by what was happening around her. Well, they survived death's door amidst a horrible flight, extreme terror. Pilot got the plane landed, and as they all exited off, the businessman waited a moment as the little girl exited, and he had to know why she wasn't scared. He said, "Young lady, I noticed through that whole flight, when it got really bad and scary and people were scared we were going to crash, you seemed unaffected. Why?" She looked up and she said, "Because my daddy's the pilot and he's taking me home." So when you know the pilot, the storms don't bother you, do they?